Good morning from Israel, everybody. It's Goldstein here, and I'm pumped up. I'm excited because this morning I get to guard the nation of Israel right on Route 60, exactly where the savages decided to shoot heroically at a pregnant woman and another 8 other of our beautiful, beautiful people of Israel just 2 nights ago, literally at the same exact spot just north of Jerusalem. You could see where I'm standing at the bus stop right behind me. Now realize, look at the bus stop. Look what we have to live with in Israel in 2018. Our people have to stand behind these yellow posts in order so that the savages driving on this street don't decide to run us over as we stand here. It's an absolute insane situation when Jews in Judea, literally across from Bethlehem, you can see the sign for Jerusalem, right across from Bethlehem, which is our history, down the street from Hebron, which is also our history, down the street from Jerusalem, right by a town called Elazar, where we just finished Hanukkah, where Elazar the Maccabee had to defend this area, this literal exact area, against people who were trying to slaughter the Jews. And that's thousands of years ago. So when King Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun, here I am, under the sun, in Judea, literally going through the same exact thing. Jews simply trying to remain Jews in the land of Israel, trying to spread the light, bring peace, and all we face with our neighbors is savagery. Every single day. Every day. They are funded to the tune of billions, not only in the Gaza Strip, but also within this whole area that the Palestinian Authority runs. There is no occupation. There is no apartheid. These are buzzwords. These are emotional buzzwords that are simply meant to kill conversations and bring emotion where fact should be. So here I am at sunrise. You can see, look right across from where I am. Look at the Arab workers lining up to go into our communities to earn their daily bread. Literally lining up to go to work right now. And this is the exact same thing you see in every single community throughout Judea and Samaria. Thousands upon tens of thousands of Arab workers lining up every single day to get their daily bread from the evil occupying Yahud, the Zionist. Isn't it amazing the hypocrisy that you not only see throughout the world, but you see right here? On the one hand, they can't eat if we don't provide them with breakfast, lunch, dinner. Their families don't eat if they don't work inside of our communities. Their own thug, despotic rulers torture them, deny them the most basic of human rights, and then they blame us as Jews for having the nerve, the gall, to actually live in Israel. You tell me how much sense this makes. And the self-hating Jewish aspect of it, honestly, those traitors are basically done. They have no place in our camp anymore. They have divorced themselves from the people of Israel, from the land of Israel. So instead of worrying about politics, instead of worrying about how if the government might protect us or not, get off your ass and do something about it. Stand up, go out to your danger zone and protect what's yours. Because let me tell you something, whether the government's doing something or not is irrelevant to me and to people just like me. Because here we are at sunrise, thousands upon thousands strong, just like me, out here protecting the truth, protecting what we believe in, right off of one of the most dangerous stretches of road in all of Israel. Come, here I am, not afraid to stand up and claim what's mine, not afraid to show the enemy that we will stand strong no matter what, whether it's sunrise, whether it's sunset, whether it's a holiday, whether it's not. This is what you got to do, everyone. This is what you have to do. If your children are being threatened on the way to school, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in America, if you see anti-Semitism, and by anti-Semitism I despise that word, it's Jew hatred. Call it for what it is. If you see Jew hatred where you are, stand up and do something about it. Get out of your comfort zone and walk your kids to school and protect them. It's quite simple. Be a brave, strong, proud Jew. As hard as it is for people to actually understand what that phrase means, in a world where being a Jew means you gotta hide your religion and hide yourself because people might threaten you, or people might knock your yarmulke off your head, or people might rip your Jewish star off your neck. When they do, turn it around and give it right back to them. Because that's what a strong, proud Jew does. We don't just sit and wait for the enemy to attack us. We stand up and protect what's ours, both physically and spiritually. So here I am, just walk with me on Route 60. We're gonna go across the street and we're gonna protect this bus stop. Just like this. Facing the cars, facing the enemy, showing them we do not fear them. They must respect us for who we are. And if they don't respect us for who we are, then they have to realize that they are in the wrong place, because maybe they haven't quite recognized the idea that they are all driving under the Israeli flag. Look how beautiful that is at 6:30 in the morning. What would you give to be able to wake up every day and know that you're literally walking in the ancestral homeland that was promised to you for millennia, for hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of generations, where the only culture that beats us is China, and that's 5,000 years old. Look at that, and feel the pride and strength, while at the same time we have to stand at bus stops that are protected by these. Look at this. Why should we have to live like this? Jews in Judea, 2018, I gotta worry that these people driving Mercedes, Land Cruisers, BMWs, Audi convertibles, the nicest cars you've ever seen, including taxi drivers, people going back and forth to work, might just hop out of their vehicle right here, right now, and beyond trying to run us over, they're gonna try to stab us to death. They're gonna try to stop right here in the street and shoot us to death. Why? I am literally 20 minutes from the capital of Israel. It is ridiculous that we have to live this way. Shame on us. We are not a nation of cowering idiots. We are a nation that are the sons and daughters of kings and queens. Billions upon billions upon billions of people follow monotheism because of the Jewish nation. We are unlike any other, and the darkness despises us. So, I brought you out to see a little light this morning, a little truth. I want you to count all the vehicles. Count them. All the vehicles with the white license plates. I want you to see how many Arab cars are right now driving freely on this road. The same road where our people have to stand behind these so we don't get slaughtered by the same people driving those same cars. Just take a look. One. And these are all people just driving to work. This guy, all of them. It's no different. Look at all the taxis. It's free commerce. They're making a fortune off of this bullshit. The Arabs are making a killing, no pun intended, off of the emotional diatribes that you allow them to throw out to the world. It's ridiculous. Stop the lies. You can literally walk here shoulder to shoulder with me, hand in hand, and watch. Look at this. Arab gas delivery trucks. Let me ask you a question. In places where there's occupation and apartheid, is there this much freedom of movement, freedom of commerce? I don't think so. Yet we still allow the enemy, of course, to drive gas trucks, up and down this street where they threaten to kill us every single day. Here's more, going to work right here. This is what the reality is on Route 60. And our people have to wait here like sheep to the slaughter as cars drive at 200 kilometers an hour, hopefully not running them over as they're crossing the street to go home. Jews do not have to live this way. We do not have to live like this. We should be able to walk freely from where I stand all the way to Hebron right now at 3 o'clock in the morning even, without any fear of being killed by a savage enemy who is given everything, literally given every opportunity to succeed in this world, yet takes everything, squeezes you dry, and then literally demands more from the world. Enough is enough. See the truth for what it is. Thank you for standing guard this morning with me on Route 60. And now you can just sit back and relax and watch the freedom of movement of our Arab neighbors as they cry to the world. Look at that. Brand new vehicles, SUVs. We're just gonna stand here and watch. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna put my tripod down because I've been out most of the night, and I'm just gonna set it up here for everybody to watch. And you yourself can see exactly what's going on. Here we go. Freedom of movement, isn't it beautiful? How many times have you spent on Route 60 seeing the truth? And how many times have you been told the lie after lie after lie? Here's a classic example of a BMW heading to work. I mean, really, the apartheid is just nauseating. It's nauseating. I mean, the vehicles they're driving, it must be really difficult to have only last year's model, not the latest model. Unreal. Horrible occupation. It's a joke. It's literally a joke. Quit buying into it hook, line, and sinker. They work with us. They take breaks in the grocery stores with us. They shop in our stores, in our malls. They have every equal opportunity to pray when they want, take care of their family when they want. Yet what do? Because this is what they do. When you give them an inch, they take a mile. When you give them a mile, they cut your head off. They shoot at our pregnant girls. Literally, you don't hear a peep from the self-hating, disgusting, nauseating, self-hating Jewish world. The Israel haters, you don't hear anything about them. When our pregnant women are nearly shot to death, our babies are murdered and savaged by these very people. Yet when one of our soldiers kills an actual terrorist, literally a terrorist, kills a terrorist, the whole world goes up in arms. But you know what that proves to me? Real simply, the light is once again on us for a reason. And the reason why the light is on us is because we are not like every other nation. Now let me qualify that. We're no better than any other nation. I am no better than you. It's simply that the Jewish nation has been held to a higher standard since day one. The Jewish nation has a light, a spotlight shining on us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. And the only time we are ever able to escape from the horrors of our enemy is when we're unified. When we're divided, they know it and they try to break us. So, it gets tiring after a while trying to sell goodness to the world, to a world that seems to crave darkness, to a world that seems to crave and desire chaos. So I ask you to stop trying to defend yourself and to try to sell the truth to the Nazis of the world. It's not going to happen. The Nazis of the world will hate you no matter what. You can't convince them that good is good. They don't want good. They want evil. What you can do is you can hug your brother, hug your sister, take care of your friends, and let them know that the truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. And if you're too afraid to come stand with me and see the truth, then you're simply a filthy liar. And you have no desire to reach the truth. Zero desire. How many Arab cars are you counting? How many of these might pull over right now with a knife, jump out, and try to murder our women that are crossing the street? Would you let your kids cross this street alone? You know why you wouldn't? Because you'd fear that some savage would jump out and try to kill them. And I agree with you, Julie. Fear not, you sons of Jacob. Israel is prevailing. Israel is winning. They know it, and they despise it, and they will see our flag fly as they drive to work. All of them, Jews, Muslims, Christians, tourists, everybody will see this flag fly as they're driving down this street. And if me waving this flag is some type of, causes issue with people, they think that I'm being some type of right-wing nut by literally walking with the Israeli flag in Israel. The same way they would spit on me for carrying this beautiful flag on any campus in the United States of America. This is what we're dealing with right now. The absolute destruction of sanity. Literal destruction of sanity. So this is a flag that has to fly proud, and they have to see it all the time, every day. This lone star does stand alone in the middle of a sea of darkness. This lone star is like no other. And we will defend this flag and everything it means. The Hatikva, the hope of our nation. The future of our nation will be protected and defended. You can either join us or you can be against us. It's simple. Choose which mountain you stand on. If you don't feel pride in who you are, if you're lacking that courage to do this, just this, even with an American flag, if you're lacking that courage, then build yourself up today. Put on a shirt that says what you believe in. Go on and fly your colors proud. You won't regret it. Your children will learn from that. Your future depends on you. Evil will flourish if we do nothing. You can't say that enough. Evil will flourish if all you're doing is trying to defend yourself with emotional diatribes and outbursts. You have to get out and show and act and do, not just talk. Walk that walk today. Do it. I promise you, you will become a stronger person for it. The enemy of Israel, no matter where you stand, I hope this burns you up. I hope you despise seeing this at sunrise over Judea. I hope it hurts you. I do. Internally, in your soul, if you have one, I hope it hurts you. Because this light will conquer you. Here we go. Look at the BMW passing by right now. Hard-tide Beamer. Woo! Must be tough. It's so simple. You just got to stand up and do. You never quite know when you, that's right, just you, that's going to sleep right now or wherever you might find yourself in the world, You never know when you might be the impetus to change somebody's life with strength and positivity. So get out and do it. I wish you all peace. I wish our nation peace. I wish all of my Arab, Muslim, Christian, atheist friends, everybody, I wish you peace and love. I do. I hug you. I respect you. You are my brothers and sisters. But our enemy will understand that we are one of the strongest nations that have ever graced this planet. And we will continue to show the world what strength, what pride truly means, and what unity can look like. Would I stand there without my gun? Do you see the people standing here without their gun? There's no reason to stand here without my gun. My gun is me. It's a part of me. Only recently have people stopped carrying swords on their side to protect what they believe in. Of course I'd stand here without my gun. Our children stand here without guns. What's up, bro? Facebook Live. That's right. You will see the flag of Israel, and it's a beautiful flag, and we will all enjoy it at all hours of the day. We will have peace, we will have freedom, we will live the way we want in our land, we will get the respect of our enemy. They will know that we have pride and strength. They will know that we are not sleeping. Learn from this. There's nothing crazy about what I'm doing. It's simple pride in who you are, in knowing that you represent goodness and strength. I want you guys to join me on patrol for a second. Excuse me for just a minute. I gotta prepare myself here. Magnificent. The same hill that King David would tend to his flock right here. It's amazing. You've got to explore this beautiful land with me. Baby. Now I want want to show you where I am, just so you get a feel for it. Lost my flag there. It happens. But look, right off of Route 60, look where we find ourselves. Look at these beautiful fields. Just gorgeous land, beautiful God's country, just magnificent. And the most amazing thing is, right now where I'm walking, all of this land you see around you, all of it is farmed by Arabs every single day. Farmed by Arabs. All the produce is shipped all over the area by the Arabs, and there's a lot of money being made here. And don't forget, this land that they're sitting on is worth, my God, just this plot that I'm on is worth tens of millions of dollars, and they know it. But as we saw recently, if an Arab tries to sell land to a Jew in the land of Israel, even an apartment, even something that big, they are either going to be executed according to Fakistinian Authority law, or they're going to be given a lifetime of hard labor in prison. So those are the people we're supposed to be making peace with. I don't quite get it yet. Find me a peace partner, give them a nice big hug, we'll eat hummus together, we'll drink some thick Turkish coffee, and we'll call it a day. Keep putting genocidal maniacs in front of us, wolves in suits, and tell us that we're supposed to allow them into our homes? We might want to think twice. But for now, just sit with me in a field in the middle of Judea, no matter where you find yourself. I don't know if you can see it. Look at the flag way up there, the beautiful Israeli flag at the top of the hill. Look at these terraces. And they're not ancient by any means. There was literally no planting in these fields. 20 years ago, there was nothing here. They were empty fields. And what the Arabs have done, and it's quite brilliant, they have simply, slowly but surely, they keep taking over fields in between the Jewish communities. You can see there's a community there. There's also, and by the way, right over this hill, directly over this hill, is where 2014 Gaza war started, when Eyal Gilad and Naftali, 3 Jewish boys, were kidnapped and slaughtered simply for being Jews in the land of Israel. Right here where I stand. But the peace right now that I'm feeling, it's energizing. It's magnificent. Come here with me. Come sit in these fields with me. Every single field here, look, this dirt, literally this mud in my hand belongs to us. No other nation in the world can claim such a claim. No other nation in the world can claim this. It's an honor just to walk around and breathe in the Judean air. It's clean, it's perfect. It's ours. It's yours. It's your heritage. It's your children's future. Here, I just read a report this morning that the Anti-Defamation League is warning the European Union that they better start protecting their Jews. Like we're some type of museum piece. You better protect your Jews. We are human beings. Yet we're always labeled, even by our own people. We're put in a separate category. The EU won't protect Jews? Are we out of our minds? They just tried to slaughter us and destroy us in the same generation of our grandparents. The only solution for the Jews in Europe is to come home to this very dirt that I'm standing on, the very ground that spits up pottery and coins and jewelry with our nation's emblems imprinted on them thousands upon thousands of years ago. Reality and truth are so much different than the bullshit lies you are fed every day on the news sites. Those very news sites that only find it applicable to talk about this country and this land when they can destroy Jews in the process. When it's Jews being destroyed, when it's Israelis being slaughtered, you hear crickets, nothing. Ah, it's so gorgeous here. מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים שחזרת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך. words, psalms, prayers that have been uttered from these hills by our people 1,000 years before Islam was invented in the desert. If you're a Christian, open up your Bible. It's so simple. If you want to refute anybody, it's so easy. You don't have to have multiple letters and degrees after your name or before your name. And don't let that scare you. Just open up a Bible and look. Bethlehem of Judea. That predates Islam itself. It's so simple. You just have to continue fighting and believing. You have to strengthen your faith. Because our enemy truly believes, based on discussions with them in these very fields, they truly believe that we as a nation literally have no history here. Literally have no history here, that we have no connection to Jerusalem. They'll sit there and tell you in your face as they're driving $130,000 cars sitting in these fields while their farmers work for them. They will sit there and tell you that we as a nation have no history in this land. And you can sit there and ask them, where are their museums? What is their history? Who are they? How is it that they put all their faith, and the world does as well, in an Egyptian terrorist called Yasser the Butcher Arafat, who himself was literally born and raised in Egypt, and somehow he is the father of the Fakistinian nation? The whole thing is a scam. And I'll say it again. The Arabs here, if you ask them what I'm recording on right now, in Hebrew it's called a pelephone with a P. Pelephone. Got it? They can't even say that letter in their language. They call it a belephone. So what do you think they would call Palestina? Philistine. You know why? Because they can't say P. They can't even say the letter of the very supposed nation that they say they belong to, that was first uttered by the butcher himself in front of the UN plenum in 1964. It's a joke. But it becomes not funny after a while, because after it's told 100 million times, even to our own people, we start to believe it. And that's embarrassing. You should have pride in who you are. You should understand what you represent. And once you really realize that the impossibility of the nation of Israel is truth, then there's no denying everything else around us. For how else can you explain this nation? How else can you explain Ben Goldstein standing in the very hills that King David himself walked in? How? Abraham himself walked and surveyed this area, right here. I'm in a place that Moses wasn't allowed to come to. And I got here on the wings of eagles. The Arab enemy is simply a mirror reflection of who we are spiritually. When we stab each other in the back with baseless hatred, they will stab us in the back with knives to teach us a physical lesson that we can learn from. You will not get anywhere standing with big political signs at big political rallies. It does nothing. Unity with your brother and sister will conquer the darkness around us. Even if that sounds strange to you, even if you feel like there's nothing physical you can hold on to with that statement. They rely on their chariots and their war horses. We don't. We rely on our relationship with God and on our strength with each other. And that's what this olive tree even represents. This little olive tree, Arabs planted here. Beautiful land, by the way. I'm glad the Arabs are planting here. I'm glad there isn't a ton of building and apartments here, because it would spoil the magnificence of this land. It probably looks the same now as it did back when the King David himself was out here carrying his flock back on his shoulders when they got too tired. The exact same. And I love it for that reason. It's beautiful. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm more charged up now than if I had an entire pot of coffee, because the pride of being able to stand up in my own microcosm of a way, physically, spiritually, and literally sending it out live to the world, it's a miracle. It's like nothing else I've ever seen. And it brings me more strength than you can possibly imagine. And all I pray for and all I hope for is that it brings you some strength and pride as well. For who is like the nation of Israel? I can promise you this, based on what I've seen around me, nobody. We are the literal phoenix that keeps rising up. And as I said yesterday, I don't blame the world for hating us. I don't. That is a time-honored tradition. It's literally in the DNA of our enemy. I do blame you who are standing with the enemy, if you happen to be watching this. I do blame you for your ignorance. I do blame you for not trying to strive for the truth and instead focusing on what's easy and what's convenient and what reminds you of how great you can be as a bumper sticker social justice warrior. Your emotions, your empty speeches, your words that have no backing or factual basis, your historically devoid history, your replacement theology, whatever you want to call what's going on that's coming out of your mouths, if you literally just dig here, 1 foot down into the earth, you will see layers of civilization that your people have lived on for as long as history almost has been recorded. God bless each and every one of you this morning. I like finding different types of fossils and just enjoying this land. It's not all about politics. It's not all about war. It's not all about soldiers and strength and guns. Sometimes you just have to connect. You just have to stand with your boots on the ground. You have to get a little dirty. And you have to know that the more we entrench ourselves, both spiritually and physically, in our own homeland, the quicker we leave those four corners of the earth and come home, the stronger this nation will be. I mean, you can even see where I'm standing. I mean, it's like the Arab garbage is literally everywhere. Everywhere. It's everywhere you look here. Everywhere. We could all come here and just clean this land as a wonderful thing to do. Just pick up the trash that the Arabs throw here every day after working the fields. It's amazing to me how many Arabs I know that when I talk to them face to face, no camera, nobody else watching and paying attention, it's amazing how many of them look at me and go, look, we all just want our children to live in peace. And I know that sounds kumbaya, and I know people are going to say it's impossible with them. I get that. I live it. Right now I'm living it. It's not just empty speech. It's not just a theory. I'm living that. But I will tell you that if we can look at each other in the eyes, face to face, know each other's names, know each other's families, and get to understand each other a little bit better, just a little bit, on a daily basis, there is a possibility that we can make peace directly with those individuals. Because peace will never be made government to government. That's been tried, and we can all see that that's dead in the water. Oslo has led to the slaughter of more Israelis than any other peace agreement that I've ever seen. The Arabs themselves tell me that everything went to shit after Oslo. That's what happens when you give wolves the keys to the house. They take advantage of it. Anyways, God bless you all. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your night. I want to give a little shout out to all the magnificent people that I spent time with in America, whether it's in Hollywood, Florida, or whether it's in Phoenix, Arizona. I felt that strength and pride with you all. I know that you were looking at me and you were trying to figure out how you can come home. And I promise you, if I can do it, if so many other people around me can do it, so can you. You can make that decision and you can save the future of your children, both spiritually and physically. And you know what I'm speaking is truth, even if it hurts your ears. I don't know if you can hear the birds. It's just gorgeous out here. And you know, it's interesting, I've been to other beautiful places before. There are very beautiful lands in the world. There are lands that are just magnificent as far as physical beauty goes. But every time I look around myself here, every time I open my eyes and come out to this area, just this area alone, forget about the rest of this beautiful country. Every single time I come here, I'm blown away by the beauty, because there is depth to this beauty. It isn't just a physical beauty. It's an understanding that you are a part of an unbroken chain of people who were led out of here in chains by the Romans. And here we are, using the shekel currency, speaking Hebrew, learning our Torah, praying to God, defending our land, going into battle with Israeli-built tanks, Jewish-built tanks, 75 years after 6+ million of us were mercilessly slaughtered by the enemy. It's an impossibility that you must internalize and accept. And I'll end this with a challenging question. If you, any of you, can explain to me how we, as the Jewish nation, on a physical level, don't get spiritual right now, on a physical level, if you can explain to me how that flag is possible, how I am possible, standing as a Jew in 2018 after the horrors that our nation have seen over the past 2,000+ years. If you can explain that on physical terms, I'd love to buy you a beer and talk about it, because I have yet to receive an answer. Mark Twain knew it. Our enemy knows it, and they fear our impossibility, and they fear what they can't understand. And the only way to understand it is to attack us and to destroy us. Not just one of us, not just 2 of us, not just 1,000 of us, but our enemy knows the only way to stop this light is to destroy every last one of us. We literally just lit candles and read about this during Hanukkah. In that connection with the Maccabees, who, by the way, fought right here. Right here. If you can just look behind me and see the Maccabees fighting the Greeks, right here where I stand, and just fast forward till today and explain that impossibility, love to hear it. You can't explain the unexplainable. You can't deny the impossible. The only thing you can do is come home and join us. God bless you all from Israel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for understanding that there's a passion and strength here that needs to be given to the world. I wish you all a beautiful night wherever you are. Come home and join us with strength and pride. You'll never regret it.